name is Jeff Bankston, and I want to be very prideful when I say welcome to the 12th annual Biloxi First Roast. As I look out beyond me, on my side and on this side and out there, I see several teachers and principals and music teachers of mine over the years, and I am 40 years old. You can do the math on that. As a matter of fact, my dad, Alton Bankston, who's sitting right back over there, is one of the founding members of Biloxi First, way back in 13 BC. Actually, it was 1989 when he helped found this organization, and I can't imagine the pride he must be feeling as he looks out over this crowd and looks up at his youngest son as the next railroaded sucker president of Biloxi First. When I first joined Biloxi First, I really didn't even know what we did. I didn't understand where all the money went. I knew we had this great roast. We raised all this money. People loved what we did, but I didn't know where the money went. It wasn't until I got involved in the grant process that I truly understood that. And I got to say, stick with me just for a minute because I think you'll like where your money goes. So on an annual basis, our teachers who like to go above and beyond the call of duty, they like to do something different, something a little lagniappe in the classroom, something outside the normal curriculum, something outside the normal materials that are provided to them by the school district. But those things take money, right? And that can't come from the school district. They have a set budget. That can't come from the teachers. They're already underpaid. We can't ask them to pay for that. So where does that come from? Well, that comes from Biloxi First. That comes from your contributions. And I'll give you a real-world example of this. So a group of science teachers this past year decided they're teaching electricity in the curriculum of science. So instead of just teaching out of textbooks, they decided, hey, why don't we purchase electrical supplies to not just show how electrons are done and circuits are broken. Let's let them have hands-on experience with that. So they applied for a grant with Biloxi First. We funded that, and as a result, hundreds of students over the next several years that flow through that science department are going to learn hands-on experience about how electricity works. How better off are these students going to be? We have countless examples of this throughout all schools in our district of students that are learning hands-on things that are not funded by the school district but are funded by you. And that is what Biloxi First is all about. So naturally, with an event of this size and an organization of this size, we have a number of people to thank. I'm going to do that really quickly. I like to think of the success of Biloxi First and the success of this event as a four-legged stool, that if any one of those legs were missing, the stool would topple over. And what is on top of that stool are our students, who we are propping up to be better and more successful in society. So each one of these legs is so important to our success. As incoming president, this first leg of the stool, as incoming president, you would think I would have a lot to do with this event. You'd think I'd be making phone calls. You'd think I'd be tracking expenses and fundraising and all that. I did nothing. I did nothing. I didn't lift a finger for this event. Because there are two ladies in Biloxi First who do the blood, the sweat, the tears, the fundraising, the phone calling, the mailing. They do it with thankless hours, countless hours, and without complaint because they care about the future of our students. And those ladies are Liz Joachim and Ann Dennison. Please stand up. The second leg of this success stool is still focused on this event. You can have individual fundraising, you can have all the blood, sweat, and tears of Liz and Ann, but if you don't have the gusto behind you, an event of this size can't make a profit. It can't go to fundraising because you spend all the money on the event. Well, that's where the IP comes in. They are the gusto behind Biloxi First. For the last 8 years, since 2006, they say yes to Biloxi, they say yes to the citizens of Biloxi, yes to the students of Biloxi, and yes to our future. And so we owe the debt of gratitude to IP greatly. The third leg of the stool of success is our Biloxi First Board of Directors. These are volunteers who have jobs, they have kids in school, they have kids in baseball practices and soccer practices, but they put Biloxi First as a priority in their lives because they care about the future of our school district and our children. So I would ask that the Biloxi First, all Biloxi First board members, if you would please stand and be recognized. The final and fourth leg of this stool of success are you. It is you. It's our corporate patrons, it's our individual contributors, it's our named grant providers, it's our ticket purchasers. You should feel good. You should feel good about where your dollars are going. They are going directly into the minds of our students, into the success of our country and its future. You should feel good about being here. You should feel good about contributing your hard-earned dollars. So we thank you for all you do for Biloxi First. All four legs of this stool stand up our kids on this stool, and we prop them up to be more successful and more equipped for their future in our country. And that is what Biloxi First is all about. I want to thank our roasters who spent time putting together speeches, as if that was hard for Susan Hunt. I feel like there's bad things to say. But I'd also like to thank Susan Hunt for subjecting herself to this and all that is going to go with it. And I want to point this out. This is very important. This is the first roast that Biloxi First has ever sold out. And it is by no accident that Susan Hunt. Now, I don't know how I would take that if I'm Susan. Everybody's showing up to watch her being grilled. But I'll also say to the roasters up here, I'd be very careful. I'd be very careful because there's one lady in the room that knows more stories about you than you know about her. It is her, and she goes last. Thank you all for coming. Have a great night.